dia. We are back. This is Matt.
And this is Katie, and this is Movies of Mischief with Matt and Katie. If you're one of our regular subscribers, thank you. We really appreciate your support. Welcome back to the channel.
You.
If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Fun House. Katie and I have been together for going on 14 years. We've been married going on 14 years. We both love watching movies, and we love talking about those movies. And that's what we do on this channel. We sit down, we watch a movie, then we turn right around, and we give you our unprepared, unfiltered opinion of said flick. We tell you what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, whether or not you should watch it, the whole shebang.
We mispronounce people's names. We make references that we later realize was not the thing we meant to talk about.
I forget people were in the movie. It's I'm telling you, it's a roller coaster ride with the two of us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give you a clip of what we're going to be talking about this evening.
I heard you had to leave in a hurry.
It's never easy these days.
So what are you going to do?
I've lived a lot of lives, but I'm done running from my past.
I know you're out there.
I know you know I'm out here. So we're gonna talk like grown-ups?
Is that what we are?
Alright, so, as you can see, we're talking about Black Widow. This is the first MCU movie since Endgame. Mm-hmm. There have been, if you've been paying attention, which I'm sure...
Been a couple shows.
Been a few shows here and there. This is Black Widow. This is the standalone film that we've probably all been wanting since 2014, 2013 when she first appeared. Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, Ray Winstone, and then a smattering of other faces throughout this film. It takes place after the events of Civil War, Captain America Civil War, so Black Widow is on the run.
She and Steve are fugitives.
She ends up basically trying to learn some more of her past, and in doing so, she finds out that a certain part of her past is still going, which she thought. We've seen glimpses of it in the past. The whole training underground where she was trained, it's still there. So she goes on this quest. She reconnects with some people from her past, and she goes on this quest to shut this all down. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Katie, what were your thoughts on this one?
I really like it. I love Florence Pugh. I love her.
She's great. She's great.
I love her. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She is got a perfect dry delivery in this. Very, right.
Did you watch Midsommar?
Sarcasm. No.
Because she was in that,
Yeah. Did you watch Little Women? She was in that,
Oh, no.
She played the only version of Amy who wasn't.
All right, touche.
Just wanted to
but
shoot
here,
her.
we're talking about Black Widow.
So I love her. She's wonderful. I love that she's not the typical tiny little giant boobied Scarlett Johansson figured, action kind of figure in this movie. It was a good story. It was easy to follow. I feel like, to an extent, even if you haven't been watching the Marvel movies, you're going to understand what's going on in this. They give you enough. It starts out in 95, and then it skips forward to 2016. So I think in those beginning sections, you get enough from when she was a kid to kind of get what's going on, even if you haven't been following it greedily like we have. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fight scenes as always, but there's a lot of heart like they always have, and I felt like there was a really nice smattering of humor in this one in places that it was unexpected.
Which the MCU has pretty much been pretty good at.
They're good at it, yeah. But there was more, and it was just in places that took a turn that was nice. It was a good tension breaker, kind of.
Yeah. I liked it. I didn't love it. It's not my favorite MCU.
No.
I definitely think I put it about even with Thor: The Dark World as one of the weakest in the MCU. And I say that because here's the problem. Shame on you, Kevin Feige, for not doing this film sooner, because there was nothing at stake for me personally, because we already know what happens to Black Widow.
But one of us who was watching the movie forgot until the very end, and then it broke my heart all over again. So
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
But
yeah, it would have been.
it would have been more effective. I think it would have been more
effective. Given you
effective.
the ending that you got if it had.
No, but that's fine. There would have been a different ending. But what I'm saying is, this would have been much more effective if it had come out when it should have.
Yeah.
You know, like I said,
Granted, yes.
after she was
Yes.
introduced in Iron Man 2.
Yes.
The action sequences were well done. There was a little bit of shaky cam here and there. I don't know why there was shaky cam even during some of the conversations, which I thought was odd.
I didn't know.
Towards the end, the big one was towards the end when she's having the big conversation with the antagonist of the film. Yeah. There was a lot of shaky cam.
I didn't know.
But yeah, I mean, it's the move. I feel like it's the movie I've wanted for Black Widow since she was introduced, but it just came too late.
Yeah.
And I think that it would have been a much better film and a much more effective film if we didn't already know Black Widow's fate going into it.
Well, and now that you say that, they could still have done the ending that they did if they had, because that would have been a huge bomb drop.
Oh yeah.
If they had done that earlier to know that that's what was going to happen to her, not
Yeah.
and to have any idea why.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll give you that. So if you're watching them and haven't seen them all already, maybe watch this one out of order.
I would watch this one when it's set. After you
Watch this one before Infinity War for sure.
After you watch Captain America: Civil War, watch this one.
Because that's where it goes in the time.
But other than that, I agree with you. It was a great story. I like that we finally get to know what happened in Budapest all those years ago. It's something they talked about in the first Avengers film. I absolutely love, as much as you love Florence Pugh, I love David Harbour.
He really does.
And he was so fun in this movie.
He was a lot of fun.
And you could tell he was having fun.
Yeah.
And there weren't any moments, and this is something that the MCU is good about too, is there weren't any moments where you caught the actor going, "Ooh, I'm in an MCU movie." But you just know, much like when I first saw Ant-Man with Paul Rudd, you know that there came a moment when David Harbour was on set dancing around in that outfit, singing some kind of I'm in the MCU song. I mean...
I would guess after Tom Holland, he was probably the most excited.
Yeah.
Because nobody's more excited than Tom Holland.
Yeah, I loved Ray Winstone. I think he's amazing, and he did a really good job in this one. The only real problem I had with it, whenever they were speaking Russian, whoever was in charge of the color of the subtitles, because there were several times...
They were always white, no matter what was going on in the background.
And there were several times I missed what was being said because they blended in with whatever was happening in the background. So whoever did the subtitles,
You can catch them all if you watch, but there are some that you have to be fast because by the time a color washes up behind it so you can see it, it's going away.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. It's definitely worth watching, especially if you're a fan of the MCU like Katie and I are. It's definitely a must-watch.
Yes.
So did you have any final thoughts on this one?
My final thoughts are your family is who you make it. It doesn't have to be who you're born to. You belong to the people that you choose.
Yep. That's a good one.
What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, Hollywood, wake up. Women can do this. Women can carry a film. Women can direct a film. We dig female characters. If Wonder Woman and now Black Widow, if you have, Katie and I watched this on Disney Plus, but if you have an opportunity, I would say, and I probably would go see this again in a movie theater. I would tell you go see this in a movie theater if you're comfortable with it, so we can kind of kick a tire under
this one has
Hollywood.
Enough big effects that it's worth a big screen.
Yeah.
But I also would like to kick Hollywood enough to say, hey, release them at the same time at home because more people are going to be doing that anyway.
Oh yeah. I don't have any problem for something like this. I don't have any problem spending the extra $30. It's probably less than what we would have spent going to
It's
the theater
definitely
anyway.
less than we would have paid for going to the movie theater.
So yeah, there you go. Black Widow, currently streaming on Disney Plus, but you can also see it in theaters. Like I said, if you're an MCU fan, check it out.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to let you go. Please remember to click the like button, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know
what to see next.
Yeah, tell us what we've got a couple lined up in the chamber. Not sure if we're going to get to them this weekend, but we'll see what happens. And on that note, I'm going to remind you to seek the positive in your life, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.